You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's 90210 After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's 90210 After Show.
What's up, AfterBuzzers? It's your host, Nicolette Gaona, and as being is for dinner, we're doing another episode of 90210, Season 5, Episode 16, Life is a Beach. And I'm here with my lovely co-host, Violet, in the building, y'all.
Hey, everyone.
So excited to get into this episode. Lots of juiciness.
Yes.
I must say.
I love this episode.
Yes. We had, of course, a meltdown and a fight. Of course, because it's involving Naomi and wanting to get whatever she wants.
What's new?
It started off, with Mark showing them different types of foods and all that good stuff, and thinking it was for the restaurant. Actually, Annie went out of her way to get him a new job offer in New York. Mm-hmm. And of course, Naomi doesn't like that whatsoever and wants to get her own way, and is like, no, like, I don't want him to leave. There's no way. And during the whole scene, you saw Adriana and Silver all kind of like, so in love with this Mark guy. What were your thoughts on the whole situation?
I like that Adriana liked him. I could totally see them together. I don't see why they would not be together.
Right.
I did not like that Annie went and did this for him, knowing how much it meant to Naomi that he's here. So
Yeah.
I know why she did it, because, it's a great opportunity and he'd be great there. But honestly, I'm on Team Naomi this time.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like Annie was butting into their relationship. I mean, yeah, it's a good opportunity, but at the end of the day, there was a whole reason why they even opened this restaurant, how big of a struggle it was.
Right.
And then he was just going to leave. I mean, to me, it was getting in the way. And so I'm definitely with Team Naomi as well. And it was so funny. Of course, Naomi was putting up aid for this whole situation so he would stay.
It's so funny because with last week's preview, her saying, everyone thinks I'm a whore, or apparently I'm a whore, and I totally thought she'd be upset about it, but she was the one putting her up to it.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I know, like, you thought that she was going to be the one, like, all, like, trying to get with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, you did not see it coming that way.
No.
I totally get that too. So this all boiled into Naomi and Annie having basically a competition, and, Annie trying to get Mark to not date Adriana, which I thought was so rude. Like, poor Aid. Like, she wasn't even asking for any of this. I feel like she was so innocent, but she also knew what she was doing in those swimsuits.
Of course. She liked it. When she got there, she realized what she was doing there, and she loved every minute of it.
And it was super cute. I mean, everything went down at the surfing competition where everyone kind of got back together and a lot of certain things happened. Sorry about that. So, I mean, it boiled down to Naomi and Annie talking in front of Mark and Dixon, start yelling, calling, Adriana a whore,
A tramp. I was like, what?
On drugs.
Poor girl.
Like, she does not deserve that. She has done very well without any of that.
Exactly. She walked in. That was the saddest thing. The look on her face. That was sad.
Was horrible.
Yeah.
And if I was her, I mean, they have such a strong friendship that, I mean, I understand it, you know, but I definitely would have been like, are you guys sure you don't really think of me like that?
Right? They were talking
They were so passionate about it. It was really, I don't know. And, but, you know, they went there and everything got, you know, taken care of, and they ended up helping Silver out. And it turned out to be, I mean, good. And he's not leaving.
Yeah,
so that's a good thing.
He didn't want to leave. So
yeah,
Annie was butting in. So
yeah, and I'm glad he was like able to come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what, I'm staying. You know, he wants to be, you know, brother and sister with Naomi, wants to be brother and sister. So, I mean, that storyline was really cute.
Yeah.
So I really, really liked it.
And I also liked how Annie and Naomi at the end realized they're like sisters, so they'll always have each other. I thought that was really cute.
Really cute.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I thought. I mean, it was kind of cheesy when they were just like, oh, we always fight. You know, it's like I'm fighting with Jen or, you know, with Dixon. I'm like, okay. I mean, they basically are sisters.
Yeah,
They
if you
share a
think about it,
brother.
exactly.
And I was really trying to think, what would that make them? Like,
Cross sisters or
something. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I've never been in that type of situation. But before we get into anything, do you want to go over iTunes with everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Everyone go to iTunes, download our podcast, rate us a 10. We love doing this for you guys, and we hope you love watching us and listening to us. Rate it, tell a friend about it, and it only takes literally a minute to do it. So go to iTunes.
Yay. Thank you. So during this whole thing, we had, you know, the side stories. We had Naveed sticking up to Campbell, which he has grown so much as a character, and I just really appreciate that they're giving him like this kind of powerful storyline. I mean, you know, he's always been the smarter one out of the bunch, and the fact that he wants to get into marketing, that's really exciting. And getting into that, he has helped Liam with his surfboard.
Yeah.
Journey.
Yes, I love that. I love how he put 2 and 2 together. He was in the office with that business guy. And the guy's like, you have no experience. So what does he do? He takes his friend's brand new company and launches it. And I thought that was perfect.
Well, and it's just a perfect career path for Liam. I mean, he's always been about surfing. He loves that sport. And I mean, that's perfect. He loves to build stuff. You know, you can see throughout the past, like, you know, seasons, he's always been creative when it came to that. So we see him, you know, at the beach telling them, walking around with his board that he came up with, and this new love interest, Sydney, came into the picture.
Which Sydney.
I was so upset because we were so team Annie and Liam.
Yes.
And the fact that this girl has to come into the situation, it's like,
it totally just like,
it's so frustrating
what
because,
just happened?
yeah, and the thing is like Liam still doesn't know that Annie's like involved, but Annie is so different from all these other girls he's actually dated. You know, so I mean, do you think that Annie would really be good for him? I mean,
I think it would keep him grounded a little and just like sane in a sense.
And
everything would just
like
be
normal.
She's normal. She's not, you know, married to some older man and have a stepson who ends up being
Campbell.
Enemy number 1.
Exactly. And it's just, I wouldn't see why Liam would want to have a complicated relationship again. Like, you think he's learned his lesson.
Everything you just went through. Are you kidding?
And he's just like about having this complicated, like, you know, basically his like a whore to this girl.
She's like no strings attached, just casual. But you know it's not gonna be just casual.
Oh my God, no. And then he's gonna get caught. I wonder really who the dad is. I mean, it's really interesting. We both thought actually that the guy who's gonna be downstairs was the business partner with Naveed who hired Naveed. That would have made it really juicy.
Right.
But we all would have known where that was going. He probably would have got fired or something. But in the cut, we hear Campbell talking about basically how he's going to set up Naveed
to take the fall for all the cheating.
All the cheating.
And they put him up to it, which really sucks. And
how are they going to do that, you think? I mean,
I don't know. Maybe they hacked into the systems, or he was talking about doing something like that. So
I mean, it's just really messed up. I mean, poor Naveed, he doesn't deserve that. He worked so hard to get the position that he got. He invited them to the surf competition. You know, during the whole time, Aid had a meltdown right in front of the guy.
That was so sad. Everything just like went wrong. Everything that could have possibly gone wrong went wrong.
I know, and I mean, but luckily for him, it did turn out good. His marketing skills were very great, I must add.
I love that he's taking all the right steps to get to become successful, and he's not trying to take shortcuts. He's not trying to do anything.
He's trying
everyone's trying to put him down.
Yeah, I know. It's poor him. I mean, he is a nice guy, you know, and I do feel like sometimes nice guys do finish last, unfortunately. But we always need nice guys.
We do.
There's not enough of them. There's not enough, I must say. But I mean, this whole Sydney situation, so she was going to be the investor. Obviously, it's not good to mix business with pleasure. Had no idea she was about to be married. You see them, you know, down in the basement trying to, you know, I already knew what was about to happen. I mean, it's never good to mix business with pleasure. I mean, like we've seen. So it would be interesting just to see where that goes. I mean,
what bomb do you think she was gonna drop on Liam before she said
that she was married?
She was married. I thought maybe a boyfriend or something, but
yeah, I mean, I couldn't really think of anything more crazy than what he's had.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, oh God, like let it be some type of normal, you know? So the fact that she was married, he really should have just been like, oh no. Like
just like he did. And then who was it that put that thought in his head?
Oh,
I think it was Mark.
Oh, was it Mark? The fortune?
Yeah, the fortune cookie. Oh,
and I was just like, ugh, why? And then he was talking to Annie about it, and I was just like, why is he talking to poor Annie about it? She does not want to hear that you hooked up with somebody. Are you kidding me?
Did you see her face when he told her? Oh, that broke my heart.
That is so horrible. Like, that automatically, like, put her in the friend zone, kind of, you know? Like, he does not see her like that.
Yeah.
So, and I was sad that they didn't bring, actually, in the whole storyline again.
Right. They just kind of forgot about it.
They kind of make that, you know, a little bit bigger in the next couple episodes. Before we get into anything else, I want to go over Serial Buddies. We are really excited to announce the theatrical release of The Adventures of Serial Buddies. It's a new, hilarious serial killer buddy comedy produced by AfterBuzz TV founders and CEOs Maria Munoz and Kevin Undergaro. The movie stars two broke girls, Beth Burrs, Artie Lang, Kathy Lee Griffith, Christopher Lloyd, Christopher McDonald, and Maria Munoz with the voice of Henry Winkler. I really hope I got all those names wrong. Don't kill me if I didn't. It's basically like Dexter meets Dumb and Dumber. It is open in select cities this Friday, March 8th. So if you're in New York City, Los Angeles, preferably in Burbank, you can go to AMC Theaters, Boston, Chicago, or San Francisco. Get your tickets now before they are sold out. Go to adventuresofserialbuddies.com. That's adventuresofserialbuddies.com. And remember, if you support the movie, you are also supporting AfterBuzz TV. So please go and get your tickets.
I can't wait to see that movie.
I know, it'll be really fun
for Friday.
Yay! So ending this episode with Silver Dixon and Michaela. This was like really heartwarming, a lot of ups and downs. But at the end of the day, you can tell that all three of them really care about each other.
Yes, definitely.
Don't you agree?
I loved what Silver did for Dixon.
Right?
With the whole dance mob. I was like, oh my God, it's a dance mob.
Yeah. And I I wasn't sure when they were doing the music video. I mean, couldn't they have used the first footage that they had, right?
Yeah, I thought maybe Silver's whole big thing was going to be Michaela singing, and then the footage that they did have on the screens, and she somehow would integrate them together.
Right.
But the dance mob was way better.
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, it was such more like a surprise.
Yeah.
And it could go really viral, definitely. So basically, Silver, during the music video, you know, the hormonal stage or something like that, for it to happen, she ends up actually being pregnant.
Yeah.
Now, my thoughts were kind of wishy-washy when Silver and Adriana were talking about Mark, you know, and how like he was into Silver and all these certain details and stuff like that.
I don't think he was even into Silver. I don't know why they even brought that up. I don't know why they said he's off limits. He was definitely into Aid, and yeah, maybe he had things in common with Silver, but I mean, that doesn't automatically make it that he
seem
was
like-
into her.
Exactly.
And he asked about Aid. He asked Annie if she's seeing anybody.
Right.
He totally thought she was hot. So that made me frustrated.
Right. So, I mean, that they totally weren't even going for Mark, which
Right.
I was kind of sad about
He's
because one of
off
them needed
limits
him.
now.
Yeah. And she ends up being pregnant. I mean, that's just crazy. So Silver's definitely going to have her kid. And
Yep.
I mean, it was just such a good moment because they've been waiting for this forever. It's still sad that Silver couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I'm really excited.
I am too. When she got off the phone for like a split second, I was like, oh no, it's not going to work.
I know, I really
Or
thought
like
that.
the whole, whatever
I thought
the
maybe
embryo or what it is, I thought like it's not going to work anymore.
Right.
Whatever. But yeah, I was really excited and I like clapped. And
At first, I didn't know if when they first like found out the news, I thought like Michaela was like already pregnant or something like that because she was like, "Oh, we need to check," like because I don't know really how the process goes. And when she said something about checking your hormones, we were like, "What?" I was like, "Was she about to say that she's pregnant or
oh,
something?"
man, that would have been an interesting twist in events.
I know, right? Oh, that would have been so depressing for Silver, poor thing.
Right.
So that whole situation. I mean, do you have any other thoughts on that? I mean,
I like it. I mean, now I don't. She went viral. Michaela went viral, and what's gonna happen? She's gonna be having a growing
know.
baby bump.
like that's almost a year, almost. And
I
9
know.
months. Like you need to
Can't-
be
exactly.
going, since it just got viral, you need to be doing all these different things to keep it
Right.
going. You know, it's kind of random. Like, oh, she's here, but now where is
No,
she?
yeah.
You know, so that'll be interesting to see how they take control with that. I mean, she probably won't start showing for a while. So
True. Maybe like 3 or 4
maybe
months.
she can get a
so.
buzz going. Then
Yeah.
she's pregnant, working on an album, you know. Do it Beyonce style. I don't know. It could possibly happen. So, and it ends, you know, with the whole, what is it called? The mob.
Oh, the mob flash
Mob. Yes, it ends up really nice. Everybody, of course, comes together at the end. I really love it. And let's get into news and gossip, shall we?
Awesome.
Some sad news and gossip.
TV news.
So as we all found out, this is going to be the last season for 90210.
So sad.
I'm going to be very emotional the last day that we
Oh.
have to do this.
I know. How are we gonna even get through the show?
I don't even know. I mean, like we all seen, like, you know, we started this here at AfterBuzz, and this is the show, one of the shows that I host, and it's just so sad to see it go. I don't know if many of the shows on here have like left yet, you know, or we're used to that even. So it's gonna be really sad. And luckily, though, I'm sure all the cast members are doing their thing and keeping it positive. And I think a lot of them definitely will have a lot more opportunities now that they're not on the
definitely.
TV screen.
Free schedules. and-
Exactly.
We've invested 5 years into this show.
That's
It's
crazy.
insane.
5 years.
That's crazy.
I remember when I was back home in Kentucky, like watching it, and then now we're here and it's almost over. So I mean, it's just gonna be as sad as Gossip Girl when that ended too. I
Right,
was like,
that-
"Ugh, there's no
That
time.
was so heartbreaking.
We're just gonna have to get the seasons of DVDs.
Yes.
Just keep on watching
Relive the
those.
memories.
Yes. So let's get into predictions. This is really interesting.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So your favorite Naomi
Oh boy! Oh my
is
goodness!
back at it.
We were right. That's crazy.
I
It's
mean,
crazy.
we were thinking, you know, the whole time that they really are gonna hook up. But
Yeah.
seriously, getting married,
hitched in Vegas.
that's doing the most. Like, she is back at her worst.
Yeah.
I feel.
And it said in the preview, the old Naomi is back or something like that. I was like, oh, here we go.
So they went to Vegas, right?
Yeah. They went to Vegas. She gets married.
To her brother.
To her brother. I mean, was nobody there to stop her?
I mean, I guess they were that drunk. I mean, what the heck?
Right? It's your brother.
Like, that's so weird. But I mean, they have that. I mean, they look
They
like
have
they
the
have some, like-
chemistry,
Yeah,
right?
they definitely have that chemistry. But that is just really weird. Like,
Yeah.
marrying your brother. I mean, I guess it would be. I mean, they really just met. But I mean, it would be really, really different if they grew up together and now they're getting married.
oh,
It's weird.
boy.
Luckily, it's not like that.
boy.
And I really cannot wait for that episode. That's going to be so
too.
entertaining. And we will have Naveed next week. It's so
I'm so
exciting.
Michael Steger.
Yes, he will be in the building next week. So please stay tuned. That's going to be such an exciting episode. Cannot wait to see him and get him in here and ask him all the questions.
Pick his brain, right?
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. I'm your host, Nicola Gaona. You can find me at on Twitter or Instagram at SinseDRC. It's SINSE_DRC.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and everything else at Violet Gagnon, KANIAN.
Thank you, and have a good night, guys.
Bye, guys.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.